Well, for this little short segment and the next, former Congressman Bob Barr, author, researcher, libertarian presidential candidate, bob-barr.org, libertyguard.org. He's been on the front lines exposing the expansion of the war on terror, the attack on our liberties, and the TSA and all of the horrible activities they're engaged in. Now, Congressman, I'm even seeing mainstream media say this is a federal unsworn police force doing things FBI can't even do. They have no statutory authority to stick the hands on the outside and touch the genitals, or inside, as you know. Now a federal judge has said that you have a right to have TSA. They upside down put their hands down your pants at the school proms in Santa Fe. They're announcing the rollout on the highways, streets, roads. The infrastructure is being seized. What's your overall view of where this is going?
It's outrageous, and if Americans don't do what you and many of your listeners have been doing by setting the example, and that is to stand up and say not just no, but a hell no, then the limitations on government and the protections for our privacy and our persons that are embodied in the Fourth Amendment will be essentially meaningless. It's just absolutely outrageous, not only what government and TSA in particular are doing, but what is most distressing is the number of Americans that sit back like damn sheep and accept this nonsense.
Well said.
Pardon my French.
No, you're absolutely right. Well, it's time to get angry. The Texas legislator voted in the House 138-0 unanimous to enforce the law and not let them grope women and children, or men for that matter. And then the Republican leader of the Senate, the Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst, and there are state senators on record in the Dallas Morning News, you name it, that he said, don't let anybody know I'm doing this. But with the Justice Department, he threatened and lobbied, and the Justice Department put a letter out publicly, Congressman, saying they would blockade and have a no-fly zone over Texas if they did not back off with this bill. What's your take on that?
Well, I used to think that that the slogan "Don't mess with Texas" actually meant something, but I'm beginning to wonder now. That they backed down on this. At least the Senate apparently did. I mean, it's ridiculous to let the government bully a state like this. A no-fly zone that people can't fly in and out of Texas. Give me a break. I mean, how in heaven's name would they enforce something like that? Obviously, they couldn't. And if they tried, then Texas would stand up to it. They would have security at the airports. That would be probably, perhaps, certainly as good as, if not probably better than what TSA provides.
Well, what does that say about the mindset of the Justice Department and Janet Napolitano at Homeland Security, that they would have a U.S. attorney send a letter just arrogantly saying, we'll shut down your air traffic? I mean, this sounds like how the Civil War started.
It doesn't surprise me, and I doubt that it really surprises you, Alex, or your listeners. I mean, we've seen this federal bullying by Republicans and Democrats alike for many, many years now. And I was hopeful, until yesterday, I guess it was, that Texas would finally stand up to this nonsense. But now, obviously, they've at least backed out for the moment, unfortunately. Hopefully, perhaps Congress. I mean, how is the Lone Star State's congressional delegation handling this? Are they going to fight for the freedom and the Fourth Amendment for at least Texans?
Well, that's the word. A headline yesterday: powerful bipartisan group is forming in the House of Representatives to defund part of the TSA and defund the naked body scanners. As a former senior congressman, Bob Barr, let's talk about strategies that you could recommend to try to beat this, and where your FOIA requests have gone with Liberty Guard dealing with these political persecution lists, reportedly that the TSA keeps on Americans. We'll be right back with Bob Barr on the other side.
And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
bob-barr.com, libertyguard.org. He was the presidential nominee in 2008 for the Libertarian Party, senior member of the House of Representatives. Bob Barr is our guest for this one segment to look at the whole TSA situation. Congressman, why have you weighed in and started an organization and for a request dealing with the stand down of Thanksgiving and the reported secret political persecution list of the TSA? Why for you is the TSA such an important issue?
It's such an important issue, Alex, because it embodies what is happening to our Fourth Amendment protection, which is the Fourth Amendment being the essential privacy protection that we as citizens in a free society have or should have against unreasonable government intrusion. If there is a better example, other than some of the nonsense with the Patriot-Act, which we can talk about on a different day, which is very important, a better example of how the government does not give a darn about the Fourth Amendment than what TSA is doing, then I'd like to hear it. When a person, and I've had this happen to me, goes through to board a plane. First of all, I don't think they have any right or reason to look at my ID. That has nothing to do with whether or not I have weapons or explosives. But be that as it may, once a person goes through the metal or explosive detectors, unless there is some other reason, articulable reason, the TSA has to suspect that person posing a danger, they have no right whatsoever to search that person further and to say, well, simply because you don't want to have a nude body scan taken of you, you're going to have a groping, which used to be reserved for suspected criminals upon arrest or detention, that provides the reasonable suspicion is absolute nonsense. So the point is, if we don't stop the government here based on violation of Fourth Amendment, then there really is not going to be very much at all in the future that we'll be able to stop the government from doing. That's why this battle is so important.